Morning update for a Thursday. Good morning, Paul Lindman and Scott Lynn, as we turn our attention to a high-profile city council race. State Representative Mary Nolan attempting to oust incumbent Amanda Fritz. And Mary joins us this morning. It's good to have you with us. You know, there are those who say our city council members here are administrators first because they run bureaus and really can't do much as individual legislators. What would you bring to the table, Mary? What would your goals be as a member of the city council?
Well, Paul, thank you, first of all, for having me. And speaking with you about this, since you've been at City Hall working for a commissioner, and Paul, I've been around long enough to remember when you were there.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, it shows a little bit about my tenure as well. You know that city council members both have legislative policy-setting responsibilities and executive responsibilities, and I bring a long track record of impressive accomplishments in both setting good policy that Oregonians benefit from and also leading complicated, sometimes controversial agencies to solve problems that Oregonians want solved.
The first goal of every politician, of course, is to get elected. And Willamette Week cited some polls in their last issue that indicated you were trailing substantially Amanda Fritz's numbers. What do you see?
The poll that was referenced there was actually a poll that resulted after her questioners had put out a lot of negatives about me and a lot of positives about her. And it doesn't comport with either the polling we've done, the polling the Portland Business Alliance has done, the polling that the unions have done, and other interested parties. And you know what, Paul? It's why we have elections, so that voters get to decide after they've looked at the records of the candidates, do they want someone like Mary Nolan, who has delivered health care to uninsured kids, expanded funding for schools, helped clean up the Willamette River, led important public safety initiatives, and has a track record to show that she knows how to deliver results.
Mary, you've been described by some as blunt and direct and not necessarily a great schmoozer, something a lot of politicians are good at. What can you say to our listeners to convince them that you are the right person for the council?
Well, I think what I just said, Paul, is what most of the voters that I'm listening to care about. I've been out visiting with small business owners to ask them how City Hall could help them build their business and be able to employ more Portlanders. I've been listening to neighborhood leaders. I've gone out and looked at how public safety employees are protecting us to understand the complexities of their job. What I hear constantly from people is they want folks with some backbone. They want folks who are able to not just study issues and find out what's wrong, but who can fix the problems. And that's what I do.
Time is short now, Mary, but your number one priority as a city commissioner, what would be your first goal? What would you like to do most as a city commissioner?
I want to make it possible for people to be able to own their home here in Portland and stay in it. And secondly, I want to increase the number of jobs that private businesses, most of them small business owners, are able to offer to Portlanders.
As you know, and I think you alluded to this, the city has got a bad rep as far as a lot of business owners are concerned. You're certain you can improve that?
Well, Paul, as you probably know, I've owned a business. I started a business here in Portland that was designing electronic systems for small airplanes and military jets. We provided middle-class jobs with good benefits for Portlanders. So I know what it's like to have families depend on you for their livelihood, for their family security. And I think that gives me a really good connection with small business owners and folks who also employ hundreds or even thousands of Portlanders.
State Representative Mary Nolan, now a candidate for the City Council in Portland. Thanks for talking to us, and we will talk again before Election Day, Mary. We appreciate it.
I hope so, Paul. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Amanda Fritz on the Morning Update tomorrow.